Hello everybody, Kate here today with the final Wildlife Park episode. So yeah, we're done with the park, guys. And if you check in the description, there should be a link to where you can download the world, and I'll have all the mods you need to run it listed in the description as well. So yeah, have fun, go play on the world. I'm gonna quickly preface though, it's technically not finished. Even after the probably 30-ish hours I've spent between episodes trying to finish the zoo, there's still some things I just didn't get to because I ran out of time. But yeah, overall it's... Oh wait, I've turned on the daylight cycle, haven't I? Yep. So what is that? Game rule, do daylight cycle false. There we go. I don't want it, I don't want to go into nighttime while we're running around the world. So I think this should be a good set of lighting for it. But yeah, regardless of that, let's get into the zoo. Let's take a quick tour of everything we've built over the last 50 or so episodes. So, I mean, the first thing you're gonna notice right away is we have a map, which is pretty cool, showing us the whole park we've built, which it's a lot more than I thought it was. And also, I don't think I've updated it because the elephant's not there and most of the decoration isn't either. But the other thing I've built is the entrance. Finally, it only took me like 6 months. Finally built the entrance. It's not super complicated or complex or even well decorated, but it works, and that's important. It just works. But yeah, coming up here, of course, we have our fountain and the courtyard area, and I can't really think of which way we should go. We could go that way, or we could go this way. I'm actually gonna say this way because this is where the original exhibits are, so I feel like this is a good way to go. But of course, first exhibit we have is our pangolins, our first little animal we got in the zoo. Very cute little guys. I like them a lot. We don't really come over here that often, do we? Not really. I haven't seen them in ages, but yeah, like first exhibit we ever built. It's kind of crazy to think this is how it all started. This whole zoo started off this one build. Still a pretty good build overall, I think. But yeah, it's just kind of funny to see like how much we've changed as like the series changed since that episode. Anyway, coming over here, we have our Galapagos tortoises, of course, looking very, very cool. Got their little bro. I feel like these guys probably would have been a better fit over in the Reptile House, but I didn't feel like moving them because, well, they've been here so long, they might as well just kind of stay there. Of course, coming over this way, we have our kangaroos. Our desert section of the zoo was kind of weird. We only had 2 desert animals even added in, but they look really cool overall. I love this exhibit. This is still one of my favorites. Big inspiration for the Megalania exhibit we ended up doing in dinos, but yeah. Just a cool little exhibit. I love the viewing area for it. I love the height difference it has to all the other viewing areas and all that. And yeah, this is just a cool little exhibit. I really, really like it. It is also one of the only exhibits that and the, what is it called? Our Galapagos tortoise that actually have a proper staff path. The rest do not, and I didn't add any in, I'll be honest. That was gonna take way too long and this video would not have gone up today. It probably would have taken another 2 weeks to finish all that. So yeah, again, didn't get to everything, but got through as much as I could. Of course, here we have our platypus exhibit, which looks really cool. I think this, again, is one of my favorite little builds. It's not like complex or maybe even all that well constructed, but I really, really love it. I think it's just got a really cool character to it. Moving on, we have the only bathroom in the zoo, which is, yeah. And our jaguar exhibit, which, yeah, this is one of those exhibits that I built and then immediately just kind of put out of my mind because, well, it's not great. This is one of the, like, the meh kind of builds we did. But it certainly has taught me, like, from this, we've certainly grown a lot, and this zoo has just, with all the mistakes we've made building it, I am very much looking forward to building the new zoos next year because, well, I've got a lot of stuff I can definitely improve on, and I know how to improve on them now. So hopefully the next few zoos we make in the upcoming year should be even better and should look just absolutely fantastic. Of course, this is one of the areas that really did get a lot of decoration. We built this on a stream. We have our cockatoos, macaws, toucans, some sloths in here. Their exhibit didn't get super finished, really. I was more carried away with other stuff, but with the lion tamarins, the spider monkeys, I like these guys, and our Leclerc's lemur, I think? It's a kind of lemur, that's all I really know. But yeah, like, I like this area. It's got a cool little vibe to it, and I don't know. I'd love to do more stuff like this in future zoos, because this kind of area was really interesting to build. It was a lot of fun to work on. But yeah, anyway, continuing on. Let's keep running over this way. What's the next? Oh, it's the tapirs. The tapirs. It's funny to me. So the tapirs and the jaguars are some of the earlier builds we did, and you can definitely tell because they're in a very different style to what we ended up going with for the majority of the zoo. Like, I think the tropics is the area where like, you can really see the most improvement, or like is a good baseline to see how much we improved later on in the park and in the exhibits, just because, well, these ones are not terrible, but they're not quite as good as later exhibits would get. But yeah, little tapir exhibit. Going off this way, we have our Sumatran rhinos, which I can't actually see. Oh, well, there's one. I love this exhibit. It's certainly not as good as it was when we originally built it, because we've far surpassed this in building capability since we built it. But for such an old build, I think it still looks absolutely amazing, and I really love how it turned out. It really is one of my favorites, mostly because of the Sumatran rhino itself being one of my favorite animals overall. Of course, over here we have the one of our big decoration areas we built ages ago. I say ages ago. Well, it was ages ago now. But yeah, this looks really cool. A lot of fun to build this area up. And I mean, that's the big thing I really did in between all these episodes, and all the streams we did, just trying to get all of the plant life in, get it all looking more like an actual zoo. And I think we've done a really good job with that. Well, except for over here where we need to bring the railing in. But over here, of course, we have our Tasmanian devil exhibit, another awesome looking little tropical area. This one was really cool just because it has so many different areas to it and a lot of different height variation to it. Plus the Tasmanian devils themselves look absolutely amazing. Very cute little guys. Moving on, we have our chimpanzees. Again, like the jaguars and the tapirs, kind of a forgotten exhibit. Turned out all right, but I can definitely see in here the groundwork that kind of laid what would become our gorilla exhibit, which is about 1 billion times better than this build. And that was just an amazingly fun thing to work on. We have our pygmy hippo exhibit, which has the 2 parts of it. Of course, we have our above ground viewing of the pygmy hippos. I think they usually just, yeah, there they are. They're in that back corner. They always sit back there. And after a live stream, we actually did finally finish up the underwater viewing area, which, I mean, this just looks way better than it used to. It's actually finished now and really good looking. Let's fly in real quick and let's get a good look at the pygmy hippos. Hello. So cute. So absolutely adorable. I love these guys. Really do. But flying over here. Oh, should I go back to? Nah, we'll loop around. We'll take this, go through the savannah, and then we'll come back around to the North American area. But I mean, as you guys can see, since last episode, or the last tour we did even, it's looking more like an actual zoo. We've got lots of plant life everywhere. It just feels way better than it used to. Of course, we have our little koala exhibit over here. Cute little guys. I don't know how they keep escaping, but they did manage to escape constantly for quite a while, and then they just stopped escaping. We have our cassowaries over here, and again, I know I'm going to keep saying, oh, this is one of my favorites, but it really is. I like how this build came together. It was interesting. It very much feels like something I'm going to end up building in the dinos world, probably for something like a Dryosaurus, I'd say. This could be a prototype Dryosaur exhibit, for all I know. We should go back over to the Okapis, shouldn't we? Yeah. Or we can come back to the... Oh, well, we have to go this way again to kind of finish the tour off and head back to the North American section. So you know what, we'll skip those guys for now. Up here we have our gorilla exhibit, which I think is probably one of the exhibits I got the most positive feedback for. People seem to have loved this build. It was a lot of fun to work on, and I think that big tree we built in the center of the build is just absolutely amazing. It was a lot of fun to build that, and probably one of the cooler things we built in an exhibit. Really themed it up. But yeah, the gorilla exhibit, really cool, really fun to build. Definitely something I'm going to take inspiration for next time we come back and do a regular zoo, because, I guess I should mention it, for those of you who are unaware, there will be another Wildlife Park series starting in a couple of weeks, sometime early January, and we'll be building an aquarium, because that was a highly requested thing that we didn't end up doing in this world. So yeah, the next zoo will just be an aquarium. Maybe after that, we'll do something where we can bring stuff like gorillas back. Who knows? But anyway, moving along. Ooh, do I want to do the reptile house? Okay, we'll do the reptile house when we're coming back, because that's a really big, cool thing. Over here we have our Anteaters and our Aardvark exhibits. The Anteaters being a bit of an older build, and the Aardvarks being a relatively recent one. I think only like 2 episodes ago we built these guys. Now, they've changed a lot since the last episode, or you guys saw them, because I took out the back fences on both, because I have brought in a massive granite wall you can see here that extends all the way from the gorilla habitat all the way over to the elephants. And yeah, I just kind of connected up to the back of these. So these builds are pretty big now, but they look absolutely amazing. I really love the style that I chose for these. The granite walls look really, really cool, I think, and give it a very deserty savanna kind of feel. That's just amazing to look at. Again, more trees all over the place. Over here's the Miracad exhibit. Same kind of thing, added in the granite wall behind it. I think that's a much better backdrop than the old backdrop was. It kind of makes it look a bit cooler and a bit more integrated into the actual zoo. And somehow one of them has gotten up there. I don't think they can get out. Yeah, they can't get out. Okay, that's good. And they're all still standing on this one termite mound we built. I don't know why they still stand over here. It's weird. They're weird little guys. Anyway, continuing on, we have the newest and the last of the exhibits we built, our African elephant enclosure. And yeah, I didn't really add any more to the exhibit itself, but as you can see, I came back through and just finished up the rock work, finished up the area up here, threw in a ton of trees over here to kind of block off the line of sight a bit more, so it's not like such a dramatic transition to like, you know, the regular world. And yeah, this build's just really cool. I love how the African elephant exhibit has turned out. I think it's really awesome, and I think it was a good way to end the series off, or a good final exhibit to build for the series. We'll loop back around to the rhinos. Let's go see the lions first. As you can see, I've again built a massive acacia forest to try and block off line of sight so you don't just see super easily into the stuff that isn't actually in the zoo, or part of the zoo really. But our lion exhibit, I don't know how I feel about our lion exhibit really. I think the exhibit itself is a cool idea, but at the same time, it's so bare bones. I never threw any trees in here. I don't know why I decided not to throw trees in, but I didn't. I guess it's to be a bit more of an open savanna, I guess, but yeah, it still looks pretty cool. You got a bunch of cool looking lions. We tried to do another little fallen tree thing because I didn't want to build Pride Rock, but yeah. Anyway, continuing on. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to look at today. We got a lot of animals. Up next is our rhinoceros exhibit. I believe this is our black rhinoceros? I think they're both black rhinoceroses, but I don't know. We have the first Rhino exhibit, I guess. Rhino exhibit number 1. Very cool, very cool. I like how the Rhino exhibits ended up getting set up. It was an interesting little build. It was a lot of fun to work on this. Yeah. I really like the Rhino exhibits. Over here, of course, we have the Mega Savannah exhibit being our giraffes, our zebras, and our ostriches, which all look really cool. Yeah. We tried out that other kind of fencing over there. Looks really cool. Didn't really do tons over here. Did put some more acacia trees in. As for the the hippos and the crocodiles, as you can see, I did actually get the roof in for these hippos. Finally, it took forever, and it could look a bit better, but it looks good enough. It's getting enough light in here. And I'll be honest, I think this area I think it still looks really cool. I don't know why, I don't know why I decided not to add in any roofing here. I just didn't for some reason. I think it looks fine, but I feel like if all the builds we built, this is one of the ones that I think if I were to build it again, I would build it very differently and kind of probably more in the style of the Raptor House, if anything, to try and make it a bit more interesting, and definitely put underwater viewing in both the areas and not do this weird little outside platform thing. There's a lot of ways it could have been improved, but I think overall it was an interesting build, and it was a lot of fun to work on this. It really was, and I think it's got a really cool concept to it. Plus, the hippos are absolutely amazing, and the crocodiles did actually grow a bit. It just took them forever. But yeah, they're a bit cooler now. And yeah, I guess now is the Reptile House. So, of course, my favorite part of the Reptile House, the Komodo dragon exhibit. Oh wait, no, it's the Gila monster still, isn't it? Yeah, it's still the Gila monster. Gila monster is amazing. But we have our cool little outdoor Komodo dragon area linked up to the inside area for them. We have our turtle exhibit with all the turtles who sit in the window because, much like the Miracats, these guys are a bit weird. Don't know why they like sitting up there. Oh, we have some turtles on a log. That's a bit different. That's a bit cool, you know? Anyway, heading inside the reptile house itself. Oh, I love the lighting. Oh, it just has such a cool atmosphere. I love this place. We have our anaconda, which is hiding up there. And I actually went to go find him beforehand, so I knew where to look, because when I was looking for him earlier, I thought he was gone because I could not see him anywhere, and then found out he'd somehow gotten up. I'm not even sure how it got up there, but it did. We have some geckos, I think? I think they're geckos of some sort. I guess we need to head this direction. Of course, we have our Komodo dragon area, looking very cool. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't think I meant to leave that there. That was... I didn't even realize I left that there. That was just a sign for me while I was building this whole thing to remember, oh, this is where the Komodo dragons are going. That was meant to stay permanently. That's funny. But yeah, Komodo dragon inside area looks really cool. Then we have our snakes. We got a couple of Mo Creatures ones in here, and our rattlesnakes from Zawa. I like these areas. They're interesting. It was a lot. This reptile house was just so much fun to build. A lot of really interesting creative avenues you could take. We have our dwarf crocodiles over here. They're very derpy little guys. I quite like them. I like the lighting we have in both the Komodo and the dwarf crocodile exhibit. It's interesting. It's very cool. Over here we have, I think these are a type of iguana. The banded Fiji iguana, I think is what they're called. Very cool little guys. We have our tree frogs up here, and our poison dart frogs. Also very, very cool. Very pretty frogs. And the final animal we have in here is our marine iguanas. Looking super cool. Oh, no, we forgot we forgot my favorite animal. Here we go. I can't believe I almost forgot you. The Gila monsters, my favorite of the animals in the reptile house, mostly because I love their exhibit. This exhibit was the most fun to build. It makes me so happy looking at it. It's got so many cool shapes to it. It really just feels like Arizona. So very awesome. Very, very awesome. Anyway, heading outside. I can't believe we're only halfway through. We've got so much stuff left to look at. It's like dinos. The tours just keep getting longer because of the amount of stuff we've got. Anyway, we've got our Flamingo exhibit over here. Pretty basic Flamingo exhibit. I didn't really try to do anything new or unique with this one. It was just kind of get the flamingos in, that kind of stuff. I do love them though. They're very adorable. Very adorable. And it's got a slightly different look to it than the usual Flamingo exhibit we've built, I guess. It's a bit more swampy. Coming over here, of course, we have the okapis, and I'm gonna try and see if this side is a bit easier to view them through. Yep, there we go. I love these guys. Okapis are weird, but I absolutely adore them for that. I adore them for the fact that they're weird. This was actually a really nice build. I don't think I really talk about this one too much, but I do like it. I think out of our larger well, actually, I think it's just out of the older kind of jungle exhibits we've built, I think this is probably one of the better ones we did. It's just got a bit more height variation to it. It's got a bit better ground texture to it and better foliage and stuff. I think this is a much better exhibit than I often give it credit for. But anyway, I guess we should move on to our North American area. And we could go look at we should just look at it here. We have our otter. We have an otter here. And I can't see them. Oh, there they are. They're in the water, of course. Well, they're otters. They should be in the water, shouldn't they? But yeah, we've got a couple of otters over here. Very, very adorable. They've got a cool little exhibit over here. Oh, and the stingrays! I forgot about them as well, because they're kind of hidden. But yeah, we have our Stingray Pool over here. And I spent a good amount of time trying to put trees up so that way it didn't look so weird. But yeah, we got our little Stingray Pool in here. We got lots of little stingrays and a manta ray and is it a guitar fish or is this the zebra shark? Or the nurse shark. I don't remember which one it is, but very cool overall. I like this build. It's tucked away in the back of the park, so you're not necessarily going to be actively knowing where it is, but looks really cool overall, and that was by far one of the most fun additions we've added to the zoo, in my opinion. Just a fun little random build, and I liked doing that in this zoo. Before we curve around that way, we're going to go over here because we've got a couple of animals to see. Actually, yeah, we can just, I guess we'll look at the beavers real quick. Hello. I like this exhibit a lot. You know what, we'll add in some grass real quick. We can do a few last minute edits before you guys get your hands on the world. Whoops, not like that. There we go. So that's a bit better looking. Yeah, there we go. I really like this. I think the Beaver Dam is by far my favorite part of it. Just, can we even get in here? Yeah, we can. I don't think there, yeah, no, there's none in there right now. But yeah, just a cute little exhibit. Very unique, very fun. Next up, I guess we should show off the eagles, shouldn't we? Yeah, this wasn't the most planned out tour if you can't tell. But we have our eagles in here. Very cool looking birds. There's the waterfall eagle who's always flying in that one block. I don't think I've ever really seen him move. And then we have one back there. We should really just go inside the exhibit. It's kind of hard to see them through the wire mesh with this lighting. But I like this. This is, I think, one of the best bird exhibits we built. It's just really cool looking. Got lots of unique detail to it. And it was actually a pretty early build, I think. It's just surprising. Most of the early builds aren't all that great. But yeah, I think the eagle one was really good. Coming up now to the moose. This and the buffalo exhibit are both ones that have changed quite a bit since you guys last saw them. Unless you were part of the live streams where we actually fixed these builds up. But yeah, we got a new fence for the moose exhibit, so you can actually see them a bit easier. That being said, they like to hide back here, so they're pretty hard to spot anyway. But nice, cool little exhibit. The last time I did all the custom trees because this one made me lose my mind trying to build all those. Heading over here, we have our, what is this? Our Bison exhibit, which actually has a viewing platform now because, well, not having one made them really hard to see. But yeah, I love this exhibit just because of the flowers. I don't know, it's really cool looking. I love the flower field with it. Very, very, very pretty. Colorful. Unlike most of the exhibits. Well, not the exhibits aren't pretty, they're just not very colorful usually, so that one really stands out. Next up, of course, we have our small North American animals exhibit. We have the turkeys, some bass. I think there was a porcupine and a hedgehog in here at one point. I don't know, did they despawn? They may have despawned. I'll spawn them back in later. This was the fox exhibit, I'm pretty sure. Oh, there it is. There's the fox. And then finally, we have the raccoon exhibit, which I actually switched out the Mo Creatures ones for the Zawa ones because I like the Zawa ones a bit better. And yeah. Anyway, continuing on, we've got so much to see. It's insane. We have our deer exhibit, which is, again, much like the bison, a really colorful exhibit, which it makes me happy to look at these ones. They're just the color, the vibrancy, really good feeling exhibits. And then this is the boar exhibit. And I know there's boars in here, I really do. Oh, there's one. But they hide really well, because they hide underneath the spruce trees where you can't see them super easily, because they basically are the same color as the tree. I think that's one, yep, that's one there as well. Anyway, as we continue on, well, I completely forgot to throw any trees over here. We're gonna come back to the Arctic area later as we head back towards the bears and the zoo entrance, but we have some of the newer builds with the coati and their little mini exhibit we built up. Which actually, for the fact it took me maybe 10 minutes to build this little exhibit, it looks really good, I think. Yeah, I think it looks pretty awesome overall. Very good for what we needed it to be, at least. Over here, of course, we have our condors, which, oh, they're awesome to watch fly. And I'm happy they're actually using the little pedestals I built them. That's so cool. I like this one. I think out of all the bird exhibits we built in that episode, I think the Andean condor one is my favorite. It looks cool. I think out of all of the bird exhibits we built, this is the one that feels most like an actual zoo. Like, this is the one I would definitely be like, oh yeah, this is a real zoo. This is exactly what's in a real zoo, kind of thing. Over here we have our great horned owls, which look really cool. I love the model for them. If we can find one that's maybe a bit closer. One's actually up there! Unless I spawned one up there. I don't remember spawning one up there, but if that's where it's just landed, that is awesome, and I adore the owl for that. Oh, there's one that's up close. Super cool model. Absolutely love Zawa's stuff. It looks so cool. And over here we have our harpy eagle, which is back there. We can fly back here real quick and just take a look at them. Let's close the door. So there. Very cool little bird, or giant bird actually. Oh, and another one that's made it up into the little roosting spots I built them. I'm actually really happy about that. That's cool that the birds are actually using the The little roosts I made them. Oh yeah, it did fly up there because it's now out of there. Oh, that's so awesome. I am really happy about that. For some reason, I don't really know why I'm so happy about it, but I am. I've also built up a bridge to the East Asian area finally, and put a ton of trees up, so it looks really nice now. And the snow leopards, I didn't change too much with the snow leopards in all honesty. I know I said I was gonna build a new covered viewing area, but I just ended up deciding it wasn't worth the amount of time it was gonna take, and I would rather spend that time doing other things. So yeah, we just got our snow leopards. Pretty cool exhibit. I like this one a lot. Although, it was originally meant to be, like, out of all the East Asian exhibits, this was meant to be the really cold one, but it looks a lot warmer than some of the other ones we built. Anyway, coming along here, got our pathway. Again, just finished lining it up and stuff. And then we have our cave exhibit, which is really hard to see into, but we have some tetras in there, some cave tetras. There were bats in here, there aren't any more. And looks like all the roaches died as well. Well, I'll refill all those before you guys can get your hands on the world. Not that they're particularly interesting exhibits anyway, they're just kind of filler so that way this long tunnel isn't as boring. Anyway, coming to the East Asian area, should we do... Yeah, we'll do that loop. All right, the first of the exhibits we built, which was our Asiatic black bear exhibit, which is pretty cool looking overall. Which looks pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, it's all right. I don't know. It's an all right build. It's not our best, but it's not our worst either. That would be the jaguar exhibit. Next up, we have the first of the 2 tiger exhibits, which looks pretty cool again. The first of the custom cherry trees we built, and then more custom cherry trees are built in this one, which is our Siberian tiger exhibit, I think, using the Zawa Bengal tiger. Yeah, the tiger exhibit, to be honest, these 3 are kind of the weak links of our Asian area. They're just kind of, they're not bad, but they're also not just great. But coming over here, of course, we have one of the best builds in the Asiatic area, and that is our Asian elephants, which, I mean, this build is just phenomenal. There's so much cool stuff in here. Such a pretty build, and since I switched the biome over to a more tropical one, oh, it's just so vibrant and beautiful, and oh, absolutely amazing. I love this area so much. We have that viewing area over there. I'm not really sure we're gonna head over there. I don't really feel like we need to. But as you can see, I've also thrown in tons of bamboo and jungle leaves and stuff, and I don't know, I love the feel of this area now. It's really nice. Heading over this way, we have our gar, I think is how it's, gar, I guess, which is like, it's like an Indian water buffalo. They're not the same thing, but they're similar from what I can tell. And yeah, just a cool little exhibit. Not too interesting, not all that interesting of an animal in all honesty, but cool enough. And now we get into what is my absolute favorite part of this area, and the best thing I think we may have built in the entire zoo, and that is the garden. Our little Asiatic garden with all the mini exhibits. So we have our red pandas over here with a fantastic custom cherry blossom tree. We have our Japanese giant salamanders. We have, we have our small clawed otters in here. They are absolutely adorable, even though their exhibit is way too big for them. And we have our peafowl over here, which also look really cool. Yeah. Looks really awesome overall. And then, of course, we've got to head back over here to our pandas, which, especially with all the bamboo trees in now, this area just, oh, it looks so pretty. I absolutely love it. And yeah, here's our panda exhibit. I think this has the coolest viewing area, in all honesty, out of all the builds we did. It really just, yeah, it just has the coolest themed building area. But yeah. Oh, that's an ocelot. Like I said, there's a lot of these guys just running around because I switched the biomes over to jungle. But yeah, they're looking pretty cool. And there's actually not as many of them in the water right now. There's actually 2 up there. That's cool. Yeah, usually they just sit on the lily pads in the water and just kind of hang there. I don't know why. The pandas are a bit weird in my opinion. But, you know, to each their own. Anyway, heading over to our last exhibit, we have the Gariol, which is just another absolutely fantastic build. It looks really cool. I love the island here in the center of it. Yeah, and I mean, I think my favorite part of this is actually just the Gariols themselves. They look absolutely fantastic. Oh, look at that. Some of our underwater plants have grown. That's cool. Yeah, the underwater area of this exhibit really is just the best part, which is unfortunately something you don't really get to see in the exhibit, just purely due to the fact I didn't think to build an underwater viewing area. Although, I think, again, in future zoos, I'm going to make sure there are more of them for the aquatic animals, because I think that's something I really need to add in more often. Although at the same time, I feel like adding an underwater viewing area to every semi-aquatic or to every semi-aquatic animal kind of gets repetitive at a point, and you're like, I'd like to see something other than an underwater viewing area. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, running along here, well, we have the last, I think, 3 exhibits that I need to show off, being our polar bears, our penguins, and our brown bears. So, you know what, let's head up here because it's only this area that has the upper viewing area, and that is the polar bear exhibit, which I really like. I think all of our 2 Arctic exhibits turned out really interestingly. They're very different from the rest. And I love the indoor feeling of it. It feels cold. It feels very Arctic-y, which is very awesome. And our penguin exhibit. Pretty much just the same exact build, but with penguins. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. And coming around here, we have the last exhibit, with by far one of the cooler pathways, considering it's an actual proper tunnel and not just a kind of tunnel like over in the Asian area. We have our brown bears, which, again, despite it being one of the oldest builds in the zoo, is still a really solid build. It just looks awesome. Super cool bear exhibit. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that's all we really have to show off. I think that's the whole zoo, and I mean, if we just kind of fly over it real quick, it's incredible what we've managed to do. This is the most complete zoo we've ever made. It's the only zoo we've ever finished on this channel that isn't a dinosaur park zoo. So yeah, I'm incredibly happy. Obviously, when I fly over, you can see there's a lot of gaps in the trees and stuff. The zoo is pretty much just what you meant to be viewed from the pathways, but for what we've done, I'm incredibly happy, guys. I hope you guys have all really enjoyed this park build and just watching the zoo come together. I think it's been an awesome little series, and I'm very excited to continue it in the future with brand new zoos, new ideas, new builds, new exhibits, all that kind of stuff. And I hope you guys are looking forward to that too. Anyway, without further ado, thank you all for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed, and until next time, guys, see ya.